hello there.
I hope you've been faring well with the growth of the media group Versa. I hope it's all
Yes.
faring well.
Yeah,
We're actually streaming live on YouTube.
right now.
Very good. Oh, pardon my intrusion then.
No, we
Oh,
welcome it. That's why we
no,
went here.
yeah, yeah,
Certainly. Let me briefly bring up the stream. May I ask what the topic of discussion is?
Oh man, we were talking about California, cancel culture, Louis C.K. We were talking about everything.
yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag today.
Yeah, we just been going back and
Well,
forth.
I and my people have been particularly focused on China and the fact that they have the blood of millions on their hands almost.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's something that's not going to be forgotten very soon. The fact that the Wuhan Institute of Virology had direct backing and funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they let a bioweapon leak into the world. That won't be forgotten this century. I personally, in my media group, will see to it. Briefest introduction for the room. My name is Alexander Sangmoore. I'm the narrator of Easy Meat, Multiculturalism, Islam and Child Sex Slavery, as well as the manager of the Reality Report Independent Media Group's information team. Pardon for the interjection.
Damn straight. That's
All
awesome.
right.
How's the coronavirus been affecting you in the UK?
The government is mass selling fear pornography to the population and selectively policing white Britons instead of the minorities that are apparently, according to the numbers, dropping like flies because they cannot keep social distancing. Also, the scale of inbreeding in East London means that they are particularly vulnerable to pathogens, seasonal pathogens. But this is not merely a seasonal pathogen, so they are particularly vulnerable to such.
Okay.
I hope it's over as soon as possible, but one thing is for certain, China is going to have mass-scale trade embargoes fostered. The production supply lines will all have to move away from China after their fuck-up this century.
I hope so.
Absolutely. Well, it's already kind of happening. I know companies are starting to pack their bags. You have Japan. Japan just passed a economic bill like incentivizing these Japanese companies to move the hell out of China. You have European countries that are passing laws making it damn near impossible for the Chinese to start buying some of these companies that are going to be failing because of this mess. It's hard. People are starting to wise up. I mean, I hope enough people do it to really hurt them, but we'll see about that one.
I think it'll be a long-term thing where many groups of people will remember the fact that they decided knowingly, willingly, and consciously, the CCP that is, to completely screw over the world economy. That will not be forgiven lightly.
So here's a question though. The so I agree I agree with that. But how long before like say we get all this stuff and we're going to get handled. We're going to get all this handled, but how long before these people start giving up? Because look, money changes a whole lot of minds. Like once we and the Chinese don't tend to fight fair. They're using they use
never
slavery.
fight fair.
They use slavery. They use and they're like, oh, I hate when people say, oh, they're not using slavery. They're paying them a couple of dollars a day. I'm like, what? That's fucking slavery, right?
Mass-scale authoritarian superstate is the regime that they have over in China, and it's far more restrictive than Second World War Nazi Germany. You never hear the radical left-mouth frothers pipe up about the state of the Uyghur Muslims in China, or the fact that they're marrying off women forcefully, or the way that they treat animals, or yada yada. They don't talk about the way that the Mohammedan world treats women because they're cucked to them for votes. So, as tradition dictates, we get to laugh at them as they continuously lose power. and it'll be a good decade, methinks, a good decade of swamp rot purging, of course, in the marketplace of ideas, not no violent intentions or incitement to criminal activity. In Britain, we have to be completely optics cucks, you see.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy how oh yeah, that reminds me, the US Security Council was they had their little briefing, or I think it was either today or yesterday. They had basically, the US was the only country of the Security Council that said we needed transparency, we needed to share information, we needed to, you know, really work together to kind of, you know, to solve this whole thing. And of course, you know, China, Russia, you have a couple of other, these countries are like,
The World Health
they need to stop.
Organization has been paid off big
Yep.
time, and the United Nations has its foundations in the Rockefeller Arts Foundation. So, as globalist NGO entities that do not represent the will of the nationalist populist citizenry per each nation, they shouldn't be able to dictate what happens and what doesn't happen. However, their absolute state of incompetence means that they should not be funded any further. Them not being at the forefront of saying, shut the fucking borders, pardon my French, them not being at the forefront of doing that means that they're useless.
Yeah.
Okay? Useless at organizing, useless at informing the public, useful only at pushing fear propaganda and mass-scale internationalist thought criminalization of, quote, conspiracies surrounding COVID, even though they had the patent to it in 2015. So trying to shut down the discussion, trying to keep open borders, calling people who want to close open borders bigots, based on everything that we have seen them done, people and entities are known by their actions and thoughts expressed. Should we hate entities that actively seek our destruction? Should we fund entities that actively seek our destruction? Obviously not. I hope that Trump completely defunds the WHO moving forward.
I think he halt funding of it recently. He did something the other night.
Well, he mentioned he was talking about possibly defund, like cutting funding for the WHO. I wonder though if it's a move to kind of force the head of the WHO out, because the WHO used to push back until their current leader stepped in. And I forget what his name is, but he's like this very pro-China person.
Well, it's because China is the second biggest donor of the WHO.
And so I wonder if we said, hey, you better fire that fucker, or we're gonna rip our 400 some $billion out of your program. I wonder how fast they'd fly.
Other than COVID-19, by the way, there's also an additional problem in the fact that the legacy media is actively pushing fear propaganda and fear pornography, which means that people have additional, quote, cognitive load. Cognitive load or overload can result in the psychophysiological response mechanisms to extreme stress. So a constant sense of fight or flight, or gut-wrenching, essentially the stomach acids becoming more potent than usual, or the juices being overflowing in the stomach due to stress and so forth. Anyone pushing panic and fear pornography at this time is an enemy of the West, of sane minds.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it's like over there in England, but I know
it's so bad with they're just pushing panic and fear constantly every day.
They're doing it here. Oh, they're doing it here too. They're doing it with MSNBC. They're doing it with CNN. They're doing it with all these other things. But we have enough outlets here to where
I hope it rebounds on them as well.
Yeah.
Particularly hard.
I mean, that's not going to stop them because like CNN and MSNBC, they're subsidiaries of even larger conglomerate organizations. So they're just going to continue to
as much ammunition as they have, I would
Yeah.
recommend. In Britain, the labour and trade unions were actively putting out propaganda. We will never forgive Boris for all of the COVID deaths in Britain. Meanwhile, the man is on his deathbed, and not deathbed, but he's in
ICU. Yeah.
So they're wishing him death with death invocations and memes saying, "Oh, I hope he dies" and shit. So that's pretty bad. Anyway, gentlemen, I won't take up much more of your time as you appear to have another guest. I will speak with you when an opportunity permits next, and we have some shows that we would be happy to invite you both on. Keep up the good work moving forward. Yes, gentlemen?
No problem. You too.
Take care of yourself, all right?
Yeah.
I hope Versa Media flourishes and does well moving forward.
Thank you, and we wish same of yours.
Yeah.
That was a surprise guest.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
I think that's a perfect note to end our stream on too, unless our other fellow wants to say anything.
No, I guess
that answers that. Yes.
All right. So all right. Yeah.
Well, do you want to end on anything? I know it's gonna be a short stream tonight, but anything else you want to mention before we close out? I know we covered a lot of things.
No, I think we're good. I guess, yeah. Y'all take care. Be safe. Do, for fuck's sake, wash your hands and wash your ass. And eat healthy and get some sort of exercise.
Make sure you wash your ass before you wash your hands too. FYI.
I mean, if you washing your hands, or if you're washing your ass, you're probably washing your hands as well.
Well, we need to make we are only hoping. We need to make sure the directions are crystal clear.
Right.
We may have some slower viewers out there. Who knows?
Hey, they can't be slow. They can't be that slow. If they're listening to us, they can't be that slow.
Unless they're a plant.
All the slow people I think are watching CNN. So I mean, we'll let them continue watching that garbage.
That's true. Very true. Hopefully we'll have Alex on back tomorrow. So anyway, this was probably a short stream, but we did anyway. Thank everybody for tuning in. As always, subscribe to the channel for more Versa Media production, for more Real News Quarantine. Stay tuned. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands.
All right. Later, Gators.